This is the help video for Access Chapter 9 Training Assignment. We left off at step 21, so we'll begin this movie at step 22. So 22, 23, and 24 all have to do with adding controls that are called buttons onto our form. And let me show you what the end file looks like. So we have a button that does next member, previous member, okay, something's messed up because I don't have something open right. This is not ours. So we have next member, previous member, add new member, and close the form. Those are the buttons that we're going to use. So let me show you something else. This is the big part. Notice down here there's no controls, right? So when you build a system for others to use, most often you don't allow them to use those controls from the system, but rather you control the actions that they can do, whether it's query something, print something, input from the form, any of that. And normally you do it through these buttons. So we're going to begin this one. So I'm going to come up here, step 22. It says add a button control to the details section of the main form at the 5-inch, so right here, and at the 0.5 vertical line. So first of all, I'm in the details section, 5-inch, and notice how the detail, it starts over at 0. So here's a 1/2 inch. We're going to put that button right there. So let's open up our controls, validate that your control wizards are still on, and here's the button control. So it's text box, label, button. I'm going to click on the button. It selects that tool. I'm going to come in here at the 5 and the 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to draw a box. That's going to turn into our button. It kicks off the wizard because I had the wizard enabled. So when you start working with this, it's really just a matter of figuring out where the thing is that you are trying to do. Are you trying to navigate? Are you trying to open up another form? Are you trying to run a macro? Are you trying to quit? What are you trying to do? So in this case, record navigation, right? So we have our button started. We're in record navigation. So we have this done. In the actions pane, that's the right side, click go to next record. Go to next record. So next, we want text to appear in that button, not an arrow or any other symbol. So in that text, I'm going to say next member. And you can have it be anything that's meaningful and lets the user know what that button will do for them. And then we're going to put CMD next member, finish. So now we have our next member button. Oh, shoot, Helen. Property, I don't know if I changed. Oh, I did. Command next member. Okay. I can't remember typing that. Okay. So let's go. We're going to get rid of that. All right. Add another button control to the form, placing it below the next member button. In the command button wizard and in the categories pane, select record navigation. Okay. So same thing we did last time. We're going to go up, pick the button control. We're going to come underneath next member, and we're going to draw a box. It's going to kick off the wizard. We want record navigation, And then in the action, it's going to say go to previous record, right? So the last one is go to the next one. This one's going to go previous. We're going to put text in there, and it's going to say previous member, next, and then CMD, previous member, finish. So there's our two buttons. Different sizes, don't worry about it. We're going to fix all that when we get all of our buttons in. All right, so we're done with step 22. Let's move on to step 23. So we're going to add a button under previous member, okay, we're getting the hang of that, using the actions, okay, from form operations. Okay. All right, so let's do that one. So we're going to do a button. We're going to put that button down here. It's going to kick off the wizard. So this one is a form operation, right? And here's the key. Open form, add member student. So over here in the action, we want to open a form, right? So we're dealing with a form. We're not moving through records. We're dealing with a form, and we want to open a form. So we're going to do next, and it's going to bring up all the forms that we could open, and we want member form add member underscore a student. Let's see. Open the form and show all records. Next, text. We're going to put add a new member. So why would we have this here? Well, let's say, well, let me finish this and then I'll talk. CMD add member is the name. Finish. So let's say you were using this form and somebody called in and they want some golf lessons. So you go in here and you try and find their name and you realize, shoot, they're not in the member table. So remember our referential integrity, we can't add something in the many table or the lessons table if the parent in the one table doesn't exist, right? So if Helen Mandelinich wants golf lessons, but I'm not in the system yet, you can't give me a lesson until you put me in the system. So we're on this screen, and so this is a quick path for your user to go to the screen that's going to allow them to add the member so they can come back and put the lesson in. Okay? Always a very nice thing to do for your user. Okay, so we have that all done. Add another button control to the form, placing it below add a new member, using the action from the form operations category. Okay, so let's stop there and get that piece. So we can do our button. We're going to put it in here. And then it says actions from the form operations category. So form operations, and the action to close the form. So close a form. Next, we're going to put the text, and closed form is good. Next, and then it's CMD close form. Finish. So cool. Now we have all of our buttons in, but they don't look very good, right? So we're going to select all 4 buttons. I'm just pressing my shift key and selecting all 4 of these controls that are the buttons. We want to arrange how these look. So we're going to come up to arrange, and we're going to use the sizing and the ordering groups to arrange them and place them where they need to be. So first of all, let's make them all the same size. So we're going to go to size, and since add a new member, I like to make these all the same size as the biggest one. So size to widest. The other thing is, let's size them, the height of them. So size to tallest. They're all kind of the same size. We're going to then align them to the left align left. They're all going to shift. And then what do you notice? That the spacing between the buttons are not equal. So we're going to go back up to space, or size space, and we're going to skip down to size, and we're going to say equal vertical. And then all of them shuffle. And now if I click off of them, they are all the same size. They are all in the same plane there on the left, and there's equal distance between each. So you don't ever have to worry about, you know, just all of that. You can do all of that through this arrange, sizing, and ordering area. Okay, so we have that done, and I am going to stop this movie. We'll pick up on the next one at step 25. Thank you.